name is Tony, and Nicholas, aka Blade, asked me to help him film this tutorial for the Seeds of War web app. Specifically, we're going to be covering how to create a custom campaign inside the app. If you're like me, then you're excited about bringing your world to life in this game. And this web app is going to help you do that. So whether it's realms in a forgotten land, slices of an outer rim territory in a galaxy far, far away, or even a couple blocks in Neo-Tokyo that your players want to take over, you can bring it all into this, and I'm going to show you how. So this tutorial assumes that you're familiar with the concepts, rules, terms of the Seeds of Wars game already. If you're not, then I would suggest going to look at a couple of tutorials. You can see some behind me on the Seeds of Wars webpage, or go to YouTube, Seeds of Wars, and you'll find lots of tutorials there. All right, if everyone's ready, let's get started. So, first thing is a basic, but how do we get there? So, seedsofwars.com, and you click right up top here, web app. Alternatively, you can just type in your browser bar app.seedsofwars.com, and you'll get there. All right. Once we're there, we have three buttons. We have Continue Campaign, Find Party, but this is the one we want, New Campaign. Now we have a choice, Create New Setting or Use Existing Setting. Use Existing Setting will let you choose from public campaigns, such as the official one, that the World of Ceres, that Seeds of War uses. However, we want to create new setting. All right, what are we going to call it? I have a name picked out there a little bit. And all right, so campaign name, setting, that's entirely up to you. System, well, that's what system that your party uses when you're on adventures. D&D, etc., whatever you want, whatever you're playing. Now language is going to be the one that's used in play, not the one that the web app uses. So what language you're going to be speaking when you're playing. And year, this is again arbitrary. We can put whatever we want. Season, there are 4 seasons. We'll leave it on the default right now. Same with month. Maximum players, that's how many players you want total. Let's go 5 players. And finally a description. Let's say doesn't really matter. All right, next we have private or not, a little little toggle there. Now private is going to make it so that your players need an invite link to join your game. If you leave it as public, then they can find it and request to join your game. All right, and finally we have this campaign map. This is the fun part. So you can choose a file. I happen to have one ready to go. The only thing that you're going to have to worry about is that it's under 10 megs. That's your limit. All right. So I think we got everything ready. Let's try. So you hit create, and now we have it created. So in this screen here, you can see the top button here goes back to the home page. We're back to the here. All right, but now we've already had that created, so we can go continue campaign. And here we go. So if you ever want to modify any of your settings, you can just hit modify and it goes into there. We'll get into some of that later. But for now, let's go continue. All right. And here we are. We're in. All right. So this is our basic setup. We do have a little tutorial here. It gives you a rundown of what you're looking at. It also includes a link to the wiki. So if you want some more help, you can just click that link and it'll take you there. We're just going to dismiss that for now. So just looking at this window, we have a few things. We have right up in the far corner, the home button. That just takes you back to that screen we were at, the main screen. But we have the map. That's this button. That's the one we're on right now. We have timeline. We don't have to worry about that now. That'll be in gameplay. Same with factions. We don't have to worry about that right now. And battle. What we're going to be concerned about right now is the setup. And that's over in the far left, or sorry, far right. Just click that setup. All right. Again, a little bit of a tutorial. We can just get rid of that for now. All right. Now, we have on the left, we have a list of all the entities that are going to be used in our game. The ones we're going to be concerned about first are going to be realms. Go down the list, we find realms. All right. Now, realms roughly correspond to kingdoms in our game. So any sort of nation, kingdom, whatever you want to call your unit that your players are going to be a part of. So very simply, we go up to the little plus sign here. We go to create a new one. Let's create something here. That's one. We're just going to create a couple of them here. Two. And why not make a third? Okay. Now that we have realms, we can start the setup on the map. Go back to the map. It's the little top button there. Looks like a little pin drop on Google Maps or something. And we're back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the left-hand side. And you see this little triangle looking button here, draw polygons. That's going to start drawing a county. Now counties could be likened to provinces or territories, just divisions inside your realm or kingdom. So let's first of all name one. So we got a name, and what we want to do is choose a realm, one of these, and go continue. All right, now we have our first vertex, right? So we're drawing a polygon basically. And so what we want to do is we draw the borders of that county or province, whatever you want to call it. And it's important to position the dots close enough together that the app can calculate the borders of the realm correctly. I'll show you what I mean. So let's just zoom in here a little bit. A little too far there. And we're going to say that this is going to be bordered along this big river here. So we go along. And maybe up over to this headland here. So we don't want to go too far over like this. We want to kind of keep the distance between the dots short, like so. All right, and then we'll bring that down and maybe along here. You can kind of make that however you like, and once you get down around to the first one that you created, you click on that to finish that. And there we are. We have our first county. Now you'll see right here we got a little bit of a weirdness going on. We'll explain that in a minute here. I'm going to draw a couple more of these counties. We just go back up to the triangle, click that again, figure out a name. And make this part of the same realm for now. All right. So we'll go maybe along this river now. Now you'll see it kind of snaps once you get to the border of another province here. It kind of snaps to your markers as it is. So you just let it follow that along, and it'll find those previous vertices that you are dealing with. Okay, now we got another province. We'll make one more. So again, back up to draw polygons. If you're wondering, I'm just grabbing these names from a generator, so please don't ask me to pronounce them. And let's make this one of a different realm. Go like that. And again, we just follow that along the pre-existing border. Alright, so we have a whole new realm here. Now, what was I was saying about fixing these little oddities here. So what you can do, click on a province. It does bring up the sidebars here, but you just click those little arrows there. And now you can go back and go edit county. Alright, and so what we can do is come over here, and we can actually just pull these, and if you grab the big ones, it pulls the vertice like that, right? But if you grab the little ones, it actually splits it and makes another vertice there. And you can play around with those until you get rid of all that weirdness that they're doing there. And you can really fine-tune your borders this way. All right, let's just see how that is. So to finish, you just click that again, save changes. All right, and we kind of got a little bit of weirdness going on there, but we can adjust that easy enough. So what's next here? All right, so we have some realms, we have some counties or provinces in those realms. Now what we want to do is we want to fill in the properties of those. So we're going to go back up to setup. That's up in the top right corner there. And we're on the counties here. All right, it shows us the counties that we just made, and it shows us the realm that they're in, etc. But you'll see that level, connection, fortification, all of these are all zeros right now. So we want to click on the one, and now we can edit it. So let's say that first one, let's just take a look back at these here again. So we have, we have Beglinia and Mascua. They're both on rivers and on a coastline, and it looks like they're in a valley sort of thing. So let's go back here. We're going to say that this is, let's go, I don't know, let's go swamps. We can set the level of the province, the connections, maybe it has a castle there. etc. Seafaring, well, it's on the coast. Let's bump that up. Let's make it that. And why not? We're going to make it the capital. All right. So we have all the basics information there. Now down below we have mitigating factors, and that is some of the things that affect the level limit of the province in question. So we have presence of a major river. Let's put that one there. And then county features are some of the things that make it unique. So they add small bonuses. Let's say Cove, right there. Now we hit save, and we can see up here that that's now changed. So if we do that to all of them, we'll just do some arbitrary connections, etc., that type of thing. And we'll do the third one. Let's make this one mountains, connections, stations. All right. Okay. Now, we've done that for all three of the provinces, but go back to the map. We can see, again, zoom in there, and we can click on those, and now we can see right here up top, and we can see the info button. Okay, we have a level 5, maximum level is 7. We have connections, fortifications, the seafaring level, and swamps. All right. Click on this one. We see that it's different. Okay. Oh, we actually made a mistake there. We can go back in and change that. Easy enough. We made the level more than its maximum. We'll have to change that later on. All right, what's next? So we've done the counties. We've done the actual provinces. Now we have to create the factions that are going to be vying for control of these. So again, we go back up to setup, and we look down the list here. There's factions. All right. So let's, again, same thing as the counties. Hit the little plus sign. We're going to name it. Let's go the Trade Guild. All right, and we want to set the type. Obviously, this one's going to be trade. And now realm, we're going to set which realm that they're accustomed. You don't have to set this, but if it's, say, a kingdom or something like that, you probably will want to. We're going to leave that one out of it because it's a trade guild. We can set its wealth, influence, all of this as well. We'll just put a couple of those up. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to do is choose seat of power. So where are they based out of? What is their main hub? Let's go. This one's going to be here. Now, you can also upload right here. You can upload their heraldry. Or logo or whatever you want as that faction's image. Down the bottom here we have default, short-lived, active. Default, if you select that, then when you go into the factions tab up top here, this is going to be the one that comes up all the time for you. It's going to be your default faction that comes up. You can also put short list so that when you're on the factions, that it's going to be one of the ones up at the top. So say, for instance, you have a whole bunch of factions, but you have 2 or 3 players. You might want to put the player ones on the short list because those are the ones you're going to be interacting with the most. So we can put that there. And if you are a subscriber, you can choose the automation there, and that I'm sure will be a subject of a later tutorial. Alright, so we want to go save, and now we have a faction. Let's create a couple more. Let's say we'll make a kingdom, make it order, we'll make them, we don't really need any of that. Alright, we're just going to do this quickly here, like so, and how about one more? Alright, so now we have a couple factions, and you can go in and edit these at any time. So say for instance we want to go and just up their wealth because we didn't quite set it right. Maybe they're supposed to be a lot richer. Go like that, whatever we want, and we can save. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we have the factions, but we need some characters that operate within those factions. So again, up to the list, characters, same thing, we just hit the little plus sign and now we can enter a character. So we have like that. We can set their skill levels, whether they're order, faith, trade, whatever. We can set the reputation, etc. Now we can, here's the important part, we can go faction, let's make him part of the trade guild, and we can either make him an advisor if he's a secondary, advising, or let's make him the leader of the trade guild because it's Bob. Alright, leader. Alright, so now we have a character. So we have characters, we've gone over the skills, etc. We have the next thing we need, if we go back out here and we go up to our overlays, that's another important thing. Right up top here, you can click your overlays. You can control whether you see the borders, etc., names, networks, and assets. So assets, if we look at those right now, you'll see that we have the level of the county, but all zeros around. And that's because we don't have any assets in there. So let's go and create some. So again, we go into our setup, go to assets, and let's go, we create a new one, and we're going to make the trade guild. We're going to give them an asset here. So it's a trade asset, and what county it's in, and what level. Let's make it a level 4. Alright, easy. Let's make a couple others because we're going to need some for the next step here. Okay, so we have a couple of assets. Now, what do we do with those? Well, we're going to create some networks. And networks are like trade routes, pilgrimages, or in the case of magic, lead lines. So we go into here, And we can see, all right, now when we click on here, we have over the side here, we have assets, right? Different assets for the different provinces. All right, we're going to go back into here. We're going to go into networks right there. We're going to make a network. You can see it's all very intuitive. Once you know how to create one thing, it's very easy to create other things. So let's make a trade network. So we're going from this asset, see, it lists all the assets of the trade guild, and we're going to go destination, the other one. All right. Whether it's illegal or suspended, we can all set that up here. Paths, if it's taking a route through other counties, we can determine its route. But for now, we're just going to go like that. And let's make one more. Let's make a faith one. Pilgrimage. So there and to there. And let's see. Now, if we go back out to the map page there, we can go down. And now when we go to overlays, we can look at networks. And there we can see, right there, let's get the names out of the way for a second. We can see the networks right here. So we have a trade network and a faith network. All right. We're connecting this asset to this asset and so on. All right. Now, what's next? We've covered networks. Let's look at military units. So those are where is it here? So we have ships. We can create ships. Faction. Let's say the Trade Guild has a couple of ships, like so. And then we can also create, where is it here? Units. All right, let's say the Church of Light, or actually the Kingdom of Denoblia, has a couple of units of archers. All right, in the garrison there. So we can just set those up if they're, special qualities, etc. There we go. All right, so there is the units. You can go back to the map. And now when we click on the correct one, there they are. They show up. We can also click on ships, and there's the Trade Guild ship right there as well. All right. So when we click on another thing that we wanted to bring out is over on the left-hand side, when we click on a county, you can see over on the left here, it's highlighting the county. We are in the Kingdom of Denoblia, and the county that we're currently in, and which factions have a stake in that county. So we can actually double click right on the faction right here, and that'll bring us right to that faction screen. And from there we can see the assets that they own, the diplomatic relations, embassies, etc., loyalty, the army, networks, etc. And then if you go up here, we can choose a different one, and now we can see what they own, such as the army right here that we just created. All right. So that's basically all there is to it. What you want to do is you want to go in, create all of your realms. This is the order that you want to do them in: realms, then counties, then the factions, the characters, assets, and then etc. and all the little details. And it may take some time to do this, but it's definitely worth the effort. Once you have everything filled out, you're ready to run a Seeds of Wars campaign. All right, now the map here auto saves, so we can actually just go back out to our home page, and we'll look at modifying the campaign. So back up to the top left here, home, and now we're back out to this page. We can hit continue campaign, and we've got our campaign here. We can hit modify. All right, now so this here we can have we can modify the details that we put in. If you want to change the description or make it a public or anything, this is where you can do that. You can actually change the campaign map as well. Just be careful with this. You have to just be aware of a couple of details, such as making sure that the map size and origin point are all the same, so that it doesn't mess up the border there and have them misplaced. The little buttons here, we have invite. This creates an invite. You see it says linked, copied to our clipboard. So now we can paste that into Messenger or whatever we want to invite our players. Update, continue. You can continue right from here, right straight into your campaign. Delete, be careful with that one, obviously. Template and download. Now these are kind of special. The template button, once you're all set up, you might want to make a backup copy, if you will. You can hit template, and what that's going to do is take that world, all of the effort you just put in, and make it as a template, so that if you want to go and start a new campaign, you can actually choose that template as one of your options, and it'll be all set up for you. Download is if, in case you no longer want to use the app, you can click that, and it'll generate an Excel file, which you can download and open in Excel. It has everything on there, all of the info, all of the counties, characters, their standings, their levels, etc. Everything's on there. I think that is probably all that we wanted to cover in this first video. If you like this, if it is informative and you want more, then please leave your likes and questions in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and thanks very much. I hope you have a great time.